What is up everyone, it's TK and today I'm going to give you 10 beginner tips to be better and to basically be the best version of yourself in Clash of Clans with these tips. So let's dive in and see what you should be doing and what you shouldn't. Tip number one that I'm going to give you is going to be never ever spend your gems to finish an upgrade in the home village or especially the builder base. Because obviously if you are new to Clash of Clans or you may not have those 5 and 6 builder, well, you're basically wasting the potential of your home village. So this way, if you keep your gems, you can actually unlock the 5th builder, and that is your goal. Guys, the gems in this games needs to go to building an extra builder. That's basically your entire goal once you have Clash of Clans installed in your devices. So get those 5th builder and the 6th builder through that builder base and make sure you have these builders kind of working out around each other. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. And that would bring us to tip number 2, which, well, if you guys have 5 or 6 builders or even 3 or 4 and you are an active player, so you play daily, you attack, especially with the current attack system in Clash of Clans where you basically have no timer for your troops, always have one builder empty. Guys, this will help you progress so fast. And you might be saying, well, how is it that if I keep one builder empty and I'm gonna upgrade faster? What is happening? It's like, don't worry, chill out. I'm gonna give you this. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is if you have that one builder free, you can actually put it inside walls. Those upgrades, it can go with walls. So for example, you have 6 builders, 5 of them can be working through a construction or upgrade or hero upgrades, anything to be honest. And the first and basically last builder is going to be just for walls. So when you're attacking, you can actually empty those loots quicker and quicker into your wall, so your base can actually upgrade all together. If you run all those builders together and have no free builder, well, at the end of a certain town hall or once you want to upgrade your walls, well, that's when you're actually going to get cooked a bit because, well, all your base is upgraded, but now you have 5 builders empty and you're just basically doing nothing and just spending everything to the walls for months, because that is how it's going to take. To be honest, if you're town hall 17 for example, yeah, it's long, but on the lower town halls you are chilling. But at the end of the day, obviously, if you're active or not active player, it can actually kind of change the way you look at this tip, because obviously if you're not active, you come to Clash of Clans every once in a few days, that would be kind of a pointless thing to make sure you have one extra builder. So put all your builders down if you're a non-active player, but if you are, well, you know what to do now. Tip number 3 will be related to the clan castles. And guys, what do I mean by that is basically if you are just coming back to play Clash of Clans after a long time, or for example, you were just installing the game and you are upgrading all your things and you're just activating your clan castle and basically repairing your clan castle, and the moment you do that, you need to be joining a clan. The moment you come back to the game, the moment you're new, anything that is related to this stuff, you need to join a clan. This will help you do clan capital raids, it will give you a nice donations, and it will also put you in a social aspect of Clash of Clans, which is actually quite frankly the most important part of this game. You need to be social, otherwise it's going to be tougher for you to reach the top of the mountain, and that mountain, depending on your playstyle and your personality, can be anything in this game. Obviously, it can be Legends League, it can be, I don't know, Clan Capital, it can be Builder Base, it can be being the best version of yourself, the best attacker you possibly could be, or maybe your kids, who knows? It's just the way the Clash of Clans work, with socializing with people and gathering the best information from everyone you possibly can. So joining a clan will help you out a lot and massively, especially with clan games also going around and maybe some events coming very soon to the game regarding clans. So make sure you're joining a clan as quickly as possible. Tip number 4 would be the practice tab. Now guys, this is a super important mechanic. This will actually guide you through how troops and strategies work in this game, because obviously there's things that actually I personally learned from the practice tab, and it was regarding how certain troops can work together and how you can actually use these practice methods in action, and it actually works really good. This game has such a decent and amazing practice tab that I don't personally see it on any other game. And it's not just something that gives you loot, it's actually really important to learn how these troops can work in action, whereas you might actually end up using them, and knowing more about that troop will save you some time in future to learn a certain strategy. So that would be it for tip number 4. Moving on, we got tip number 5, which is going to be never rush the goblin maps. Yes, I know you guys love the loot. There is sometimes it's like 1 million loot or 750 is just easy loot. Let's go and collect them all, and no, don't rush it. And you might be saying, why? What is going on with the goblin maps? Well, let me give you this tip. The goblin maps is kind of designed in a way that it's possible to rush through them all when you're in a certain town hall. You can basically run through them and actually maximize everything. And there's actually guides out there. Maybe Judo Slot or Itsu have done a certain guides on these goblin maps. But the important thing is that these goblin maps give you a lot of loot. And why is that? Is basically sometimes you may be stuck inside an upgrade where you need this much loot. For example, you're upgrading, for example, an Inferno Tower, and you need around 5 million loot, okay? You can get that from attacks, but there are certain points of the game whereas you're not going to be finding too many attacks that is giving you a lot of loot, and you're kind of just there with around 300,000 or I don't know, a million or 500,000 loot. This is something that the goblin maps will help you with. So, for example, you may need, I don't know, 20,000 or as little as 10,000 or maybe as high as 100,000. Just small amounts, but in a bigger aspect. The goblin maps will give you that guaranteed without needing to destroy the map or, importantly, lose trophies, because currently the trophy system have changed. If you one star a base, you get only one trophy, but if you don't get a star, you actually lose quite a bit. So make sure you keep those goblin maps kind of whenever you need it to attack them and get those loots. But obviously, if your main goal is going to be a certain challenge that is going to be on your experience list, well, obviously if you're going for gems, you can finish them off, but you don't have to, because there's only a certain amount of stars is needed to get the maximum amount of gems. Make sure you note that, because it's important for you to not lose out on any loot. Tip number 6 is going to be an interesting one because it's related to strategy and the way you can learn the game. So, what I would suggest you is to learn one and only one strategy first when you're diving into attacks. Make sure you are a master in that strategy. You know every single detail about that strategy, because that way you can actually use those details in a different aspect when you're learning other strategies. Otherwise, if you don't know a certain things, the same thing you're never gonna know in other strategies as well. So if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. So make sure you learn everything from your main strategy first. Then you can switch around the higher town hall you go, because obviously that is the point of the game. The more you go higher, there is going to be more strategic ways of approaching the bases because of the defenses that are placed, and also there is more ways to triple a base the more you go higher. So you need to make sure with the equipments and the strategies you know everything around them before switching armies. This way, as I said, it will actually help you out a lot more to learn the mechanics of the game with that practice tab, as I also mentioned in a few tips back. So let's move on to tip number 7. Tip number 7 is going to be quite simple, and it's buying the gold pass. Yes, now I'm here to give you the best tips possible, and I never want you to force into spending money into the game whereas you're not comfortable with. But asking from myself, the gold pass is literally the biggest thing that is happening in Clash of Clans. That means the value you get from one gold pass is too crazy to actually count on, and it's only 7, I believe, dollars. So depending on the country you are, obviously. So the gold pass system itself, it was working quite well actually. You get hero skins, you get a lot of boosts that will help you in the attacks and in donations, in the progress of your base, and adding to that, you get a lot of elixir, gold, dark elixir, and runes with a lot of books. This is the only thing I would suggest to invest money into the game. But obviously, as I said, you don't have to. But if you are willing to invest money in the game, the Gold Pass is going to be the only thing I actually advise you to spend money on, and no other offers, because obviously it's a bit kind of like, okay, if I get this offer, it's like $20, but in Gold Pass you get everything that is in that offer for only 5. So you can see how already I'm going around that. But as I said, if you're willing to invest money in the game, the Gold Pass is your best friend. You need to purchase it, and the only thing to kind of help you grow faster and better than anything else is the Gold Pass in Clash of Clans, and it's actually designed quite well. Like, they did a huge, very well designed Gold Pass that is actually helping everyone in every town hall. Depending on obviously what town hall you are, you get certain amount of loot and buildings, and basically kind of, I would say, runes regarding that. Tip number 8 is going to be quite interesting because it's connected to ores. Now guys, this is going to be about having 2 clans at the same time doing wars. If you're an active player especially. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, guys, whenever the Clan War League starts, literally right now that is live, you are losing out on ores because you're only attacking once per day in one clan. So what I mean with this tip is to make a new clan, whatever name you want to put it, but obviously you need to make sure it's not a bad name, but you know what I mean. So then you can actually move to that new clan at the same time you're doing Clan War League. Obviously you need to wait 2 days, I believe, for it to pass on the start, so you can actually start a war, a normal war. So now you're doing 2 war attacks every day, basically not every day, you know, every 2 days, and then you're moving to your CWL clan every day to do the 1 attack in there as well. This way you are boosting your ores triple amount that you can get basically. So obviously this tip, I know personally, like, I actually realized this whenever like the ores was out. Me and my friends were like, can we do wars and CWL at the same time? And yes, you can. So if you weren't doing that, I'm sorry to let you know, you're actually behind on equipment levels than anyone who've been doing this trick. Now, obviously, it's not a trick, it's just a very nice little detail that if you're not aware of, you can actually lose on quite a lot of ores, and especially if you're a regular clan that is actually getting, for example, Town Hall 11s, 12, 13, 15, 16, and just random town halls and not 50 town hall 17s, whereas you're having a higher chance to win wars, meaning you can get full amount of those ores from those attacks. So make sure you have 2 clans whenever Clan War League starts. This way you boost up your ores. Tip number 9 is going to be regarding your town hall upgrades. Now guys, this is going to be a huge game changer because of the way I'm going to tell you to upgrade your town hall may not be the way you are used to. So make sure you listen carefully. Now guys, once you're upgrading your town hall, if you have the gold pass, this will automatically guarantee you having a few books and runes. So how do you upgrade the town hall? Now, do not upgrade your town hall whenever it's at the very end of the season. What do I mean by that is because when it's at the end of the season, it's where mostly you used all of your resources to get to a maxed level of that town hall. That means, well, you're going to collect your gold pass rewards and have them in your inventory. This is good, but if you're moving to a new town hall, you're going to be using those resources that you have collected inside the new town hall, and especially the CWL hammer. So make sure you keep them, and that would be a tip inside the tip. So make sure you buy CWL medals before you upgrade a town hall. A week before you upgrade your town hall, for example, you did it and there's a 7-day left on your upgrade, or if you use books then better, but if you want to have it, make sure you have 1 week in advance buying the hammer so you can buy 2 of them. Now going back to our main tip would be, make sure the new gold pass is always in your main priority, as in you're already going to have runes and books in your town hall. So you have the gold pass in your inventory just kept there. That means now you have 2 runes of each and 2 books basically of each. So this way you're maximizing your inventory. But if you want to collect the gold pass inside the town hall and keep them and then upgrade into a new town hall, you're losing out on quite a lot of resources, whereas you could have been able to upgrade a few of your main buildings with 2 hammers, with a few books, with a few runes, upgrade 2 troops, all the spells in any new update. This will automatically guarantee whenever there is an update or whenever you want to upgrade your town hall, you're always going to have double the resources of a free to play player in your town hall. So you keeping these resources to make sure you use them at their best when it's needed, not actually being completely emptied out. Now obviously this tip was more related to the people who buy the gold pass, but obviously there's also certain, I don't know, challenges and stuff that gives you runes, or there are certain events that you can actually purchase those runes with the medal event. So this way you can actually have the runes in your town hall before going into a new town hall level. So make sure you are using those medals to get the resources and the books that are necessary if you are not a decoration type of person, because if you know me, I love decoration. There's no way I'm gonna have a rune of elixir instead of a decoration. I'm always gonna go for the decoration, even if it's triple and triple basically the price of a rune. I do not care. And yeah, the tip inside the tip will be keep the decoration. Okay, this is just an extra tip. It's not gonna be a crazy, like, strategic tip. It's just something that is obviously optional, but if you keep your decoration, it actually showcases that you were in that time frame of the game playing when there was a certain event, and also that way you can know how long you've been having your account and look back and see, wow, I actually had this played, and I played through this, I played through that, I was online and I enjoyed this event. What a time to be alive and play Clash of Clans. Now moving on, we got the last tip, and it will be one of the key things to do in Clash of Clans, which is going to be make sure you use your loot before logging off the game. Obviously, if you have a shield, it does not matter, but there's always certain things that if you are doing a lot of attacks, you're never gonna have shield. So make sure when you're logging off, always spend whatever you got into the buildings, upgrade them, make sure your builders are busy. Give it to a hero upgrade, give it to a troop upgrade. Just spend the loot and then log off. Do not log off with like 20 million in your gold storages or elixir storages, or like 300,000 in your dark storage, because they are going to attack you and take away that loot no matter what league you are going to be inside of. Now this is going to also flash back to our other tip, which was related to keeping one builder empty. This way, whenever you want to log off, you can actually invest that loot into walls. You can literally empty your whole storage in walls in like only a few clicks, and you're always going to be ahead of time, and you're never going to be giving away too much loot to the enemy. This is going to be my 10 beginner tip in Clash of Clans, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you use these tips, because every single one of them done with each other will make you a better player in general. And if you have any other things you want to add, or maybe something I missed, make sure to leave it down below in the comments. I'm ready to read it all and see what are your thoughts. So hopefully I'll see you soon in the future. Take care and peace.